Ladies and gentlemen, today it is time for us to have a look at another @LOL Korea Pro replay. And in this one, we are going to be spectating a JAX that is running lethal tempo. You saw the runes on the screen right there. And he is going to be starting off in the Korean high elo top lane here. This is Korea, right? Yes. It is Korean Grandmaster. And this JAX is going to show us how it's done against the Aatrox. So, first of all, we definitely see him respect the Aatrox's range here. And then he punishes the cooldown of Aatrox's Qs. But we are getting to the point where Aatrox Q is about to come up again. So, gotta be a little bit careful here. Obviously, once JAX has his passive stacked, he is a lot more scary, actually. Beautiful try to trade there by the Aatrox, trying to bait the JAX into a Q hit. Had that Q connected with the JAX, that would have been absolute disaster for him, as he would get hit not only by the minions but also by Aatrox Q, and then probably the follow-up Q as well, as JAX just bullies into the Aatrox, picking up a kill onto the Aatrox, who flashes out, but still he shall die because auto attacks, they do fly. MC Ashen in the house, as this lane is not going to slow down by any means here, as yeah, we're going to jump onto the Aatrox again, but this time Aatrox probably going to pick up a kill onto the JAX here, just because of the Q being so good against JAX's E, and JAX trying to predict what Aatrox is doing, and the Q Wartop Flash will get him out of danger, and he will be kind of rewarded for his sinning, overstaying very hard there onto an Aatrox who still had TP. JAX still also has his TP available, so he will be able to walk back into the lane, but the damage has been done. He has lost his flash, and he has lost a sizable part of his advantages. He's going to move in onto the Udyr here, just jump onto and hit the stun. The Q is coming up pretty soon again, and is the slow going to be enough? We have to be very careful that we don't overextend here, as Udyr can lock us down for a while, and then Aatrox comes and they can chase you down very well. As the Echo, not necessarily aware of what exactly is happening here, does not move in with JAX, instead elects to dive a Qiyana, who will pick up a kill onto him. Let's pray that this is not Beifeng, because otherwise this JAX will get absolutely destroyed. Poor soul. But so far, JAX definitely in a solid lead here in the top lane. But you saw what happened. Yeah, you saw what happened, and Aatrox definitely has a sizable lead now. JAX actually making a really big mistake there as well, not respecting the level up, going in for a minion, and Aatrox says, was it worth it losing half your HP to that? And to that, obviously, we say no. As Yon picks up a kill onto the Qiyana. Yes. And JAX in a little bit of a pickle here. This is something that you have to get very good at when playing top lane. I learned that the hard way as well. Respect when the enemy can fight you and when they easily can kill you, and try to not die and give up minions accordingly, just because it is going to happen in most matchups. As we see a little bit of an opening here, Aatrox not having his Q available just now, but it's going to be coming up pretty soon, as the auto attack will be cancelled, and the CSing under tower here not very clean by the JAX, as he's going to fall 19 to 31, jumps on to trade and punish the Aatrox again. But it is not going to be enough, as he misses another minion. 10 minions behind in what looked like an amazing lane state, and a really big lead here. Level 1 turned into quite the fiasco, as he's going to jump onto the Aatrox, but Aatrox going to lock him down with that W. No movement available for the JAX, so he will get hit by the W, and that is a beautiful 1-2 punch by the Aatrox secured. And now we have to be very scared about Udyr ganking us as the JAX. Obviously, not only that, the lane is also in a state where most of the minions are on the blue side, which creates a push advantage here for the JAX, which he definitely doesn't want to, because it is actually an advantage by the Aatrox, as Aatrox is going to jump into the JAX. Not the optimal trade there, as JAX is going to move on to the Aatrox will take him down as Yon with a beautiful ultimate connects with the Aatrox, as JAX still has to be very, very careful. He's jumping on to the Udyr, but he will do it, and he will pick up another kill, denying Yon of any of the gold, but giving him at least some of the farm, and Yon will actually not take that plating, recalling right straight back to the mid lane as Qiyana is trying to F with the Echo, who now is 0 and 2 already. JAX is going to move in and will pick up a kill onto the potentially the Qiyana, as her W is stacking down. Yeah, that flash was required because otherwise she would have been able to W again. And so he will take up 4 kills out of this situation. Well, 3 kills out of this situation. And now he is kind of back for all the, let's say, how should I say this? All the macro mistakes that he's made. He will pick up a pretty big advantage as he will bulldoze the Aatrox down, just walk him down back to the turret, go home. You demon, he says. And imagine if I had a freaking real weapon, dude. As he will pick up even more farm and finally be even with the Aatrox now, gaining a pretty big advantage when it comes to the XP over Aatrox. So that is very, very depressing for Aatrox, as JAX does do very, very well with the XP, something that you can't deny. His W gains a lot of damage, his Q gains a lot of cooldown, his E is arguably the more underwhelming ability to level, but still is worthwhile putting points into. So JAX definitely very scary, and just by picking up a lot of kills there, last hitting a lot of the people, he will net himself a 500 gold shutdown, with Yon definitely doing fine for himself as well. And we are just looking to bulldoze this Aatrox down again, as Aatrox is on the back foot again. Auto tech is going to be cancelled. W is available, E is available, and the Q was available too, as Wu Laidong Xianqi is going to pick up another kill on to the Aatrox. 6-0 and 0 as we are moving into that Divine Sundra, the MasterCard Divine Sundra pickup. I'm sorry, these freaking ads in League of Legends, they are just ridiculous. Kind of reminds me of the World Championship, which had like the Mercedes-Benz little toy RC cars like driving up to deliver the ball. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember Mbappe's face when he just saw that. He was like, what the fuck is this fiesta of a freaking game, dude? Obviously, he has to keep his mouth shut, as the Overlords will not approve of what that face was saying, but he will not say it, he will just think it. And we are going to pick up another kill onto the Aatrox, who overstayed just a little bit. At this point, it is also Aatrox bad, but before, that was ridiculous. I would have never expected JAX to win the level 1 trade. However, he did punish a cooldown by Aatrox pretty well. And I personally find top lane to be one of the more admirable lanes, because it says, I will 1v1 and I will fight till the end with you, and I will take the ultimate consequence whenever I do. Where mid lane, especially the champions that I play, they're not very big on risks, right? You basically try to minimize risks, post through the early game and through the mid game, and then just get very free game-winning ultimates in the late game. Talking about Victor, talking about the Orianna, talking about the Azir, as we fail auto-attack the Aatrox there and take a big chunk. No ultimate available anymore for the JAX, as he has to get out. Obviously, Divine Sundra offers Serrated Dirk, so just by the merit of that, he would potentially even be able to win a trade, just because that is so strong. But don't count this Aatrox out yet, as he has managed to reach level 8 finally. Now he is on the level with the bot laners and Echo, which is a bit of an unfortunate situation to shut down over to the Lux, as a dive was happening onto the bot lane here. Ezreal 1, 4, and 3 definitely not looking very hot for him. Beautiful flash E onto the Aatrox, and we are going to pick up another kill. With that little bit of mana, it is a little bit of a miracle that Aatrox gave him the opportunity there, as Aatrox could have just played a war of attrition, but no, he did go for the straight up fight angle again, as JAX will pick up a Flash E and will pick up a blue buff as well. Moving back into the top lane, and he is now able to take down top lane and start counter jungling as well, which will put him at a pretty solid CS lead here. Now, this Yone is pretty impressive when it comes to the farm, huh? I don't know who this is. I know it is not Chovy, but definitely taking a page out of the books of the Chovster. As we're going to pick up a beautiful auto tech Q, and yeah, I'm going to pick up another kill onto the Aatrox. Nothing Aatrox can do actually, because all these skills are not outplayable. It is just auto attacks after all. JAX Q probably at a 4-second cooldown at this point. Him able to follow up with everything. Obviously level 9 was the point where his W was fully maxed already, so a lot of points into Q at this point. And I need to stop saying point or I'm going to lose my point. As JAX is going to move back into the base. Rest of the lane doesn't look so stable. Definitely the AD carry Kai'Sa is very good at dealing with JAX, but obviously JAX is able to, like many of these bruisers, just hit that point where you are just ridiculously strong, especially given the nature of this game, with only Heimerdinger and Udyr being the magical damage dealers. Obviously means that JAX benefits greatly from something like the frozen heart that he is about to pick up here. Probably has the gold for it already again, but we will pick up another wave and start counter jungling, right? Want to move into the Krugs here, deny them from Aatrox and try to take them. And then we could definitely look at the mid lane as well, where there is a little bit of a lane pushing in. But it seems like we are not interested in any dragons or any fights here. We are just staying in the top lane. Very Hishinshin-esque, this playstyle, I will say. Very aggressive. I'm going to go for the Aatrox again. Goes for another auto attack. Well, Q auto attack, W in very quick succession. As the teleport into the dragon is coming out, but that is the teleport cancelled by the Aatrox. Beautiful job. As we are going to be moving down into the dragon. JAX taking a ridiculous amount of damage here actually from the Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger not there for the dragon, as Yone will pick up the dragon. However, it is still a pretty big advantage here for the red team when it comes to the fight, but blue team will be able to escape, and so they went out on the trade. Yeah, pretty good. Heimerdinger should have been there at the dragon, would have probably prevented quite a bit of heartache here for the blue team, for the red team. The blue team in a very slight gold lead here. Definitely nothing that solo queue shenanigans wouldn't be able to restore back to a even game though. And JAX is going to move into the bottom lane here, although he doesn't have his TP. Obviously not really any objectives that is worthwhile in the top lane right now. Given the fact that obviously, you know, who cares about Herald second? Herald second is a little bit of a afterthought. Like, you can pick it up if you end up winning a fight and you don't have any turrets that you can pick up just like that, and you know, oh yeah, we can probably pick up a turret like that, right? Or if you can manage it to break the base, and if you're that far ahead. But on anything else, it doesn't give you the plates, doesn't really do a lot, and you spend a lot of time fighting it. Maybe even expose yourself, as JAX is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Is he going to be able to take down the Kai'Sa? No, shutdown goes over to Kai'Sa. That is 700 gold over to the enemy AD carry, who already is 9, 6, and 4, already has the Dragon Slayer, and is building right to that lethality item as well. Could go for Youmu's, could go for the Axiom Arc actually, but probably not, to be honest. But is most likely going for the Collector into the Cyrilda's Grudge combo, is what it looks like here. And we are going to pick up a Herald. Yone just trying to do best and trying to cosplay for the jungler as good as he can. He has been able to pick up a dragon already. Picks up a Herald as well for himself now. And we will see what he can use it for. Obviously, Yone in the side lane, pretty strong, pretty scary. So he can definitely find an angle there if he can take down the Kiana, or at least stop her from being able to clear waves. as we are going to move into the bot lane again. Gotta be a little bit careful now. We need to learn from the situation that happened just now. And we need to keep in mind where the Kai'Sa is. Kai'Sa now moving into the top side. That means that JAX should be pretty good here versus Shrimp Vicious, and the Aatrox should be able to win the trades now. As Aatrox running the Eclipse as well, not the Gore Drinker. I don't know if that is so good, but I mean, buy damage if behind, I suppose. JAX is going to be able to move into the mid lane here, maybe join an upcoming fight. Yep, he is going to TP into the top lane here. Chasing down the Kai'Sa as he does want revenge. No shutdown picked up, and he is respecting the Kai'Sa so far. Ultimate of Lux does find its mark, but Yone tethering himself way too far away to be able to chase that. JAX definitely looking for an engage here. He is ready as he will play onto the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is taken down, and so will the Udyr be, probably, as we have to jump out because Heimerdinger damage is just a little bit too much. Yone looking for a little bit of an engage here. Q only now available as we will tag the Heimerdinger, and what a beautiful combo with the Ezreal ult. That is just ridiculous. Beautifully done by the Yone, who probably saw that coming and comboed with it. And that means the support going down as well. Definitely a big pickup here for the blue team, right? As Aatrox kind of just in a side lane trying to farm up, trying to become relevant again. But this is really a bad situation for Aatrox, as if Aatrox is not able to dominate mid game, he can fall behind very, very hard and be very useless. Not so much the Udyr, who has 177 farm and 21 minions. Pretty impressive for a jungler. Good values, and JAX is going to hold the trigger. Not going to release yet, as we are looking for a little bit of a pickup here onto the mid laners. But are we actually able to be... No, we are not able to pick that up. Trade for the Baron. The latest... The call is very late, but I think it is still possible to do it just because there's so much damage available here. Sadly, the Ezreal isn't there once again at the play, but we'll see. Aatrox definitely going to jump in here. Yeah, we all saw that coming as Echo will secure it, but this is a shield save from Kiana, and so the blue team is going to be decimated, but one man is still standing. The JAX is still looking for some kills, and he will sustain himself up against the Udyr. He still is alive, but barely will go down to Udyr's burn. And that means that a shutdown is being traded by both of these giants, as JAX managed to live for way too long. Give him a little bit of magic resist and he will tear this game up. I would personally say this is a wit's end angle, as he does do a lot of damage and he will be able to acquire quite a bit of gold very quickly. So completing that wit's end gives you ridiculous damage with the added safety of the wit's end. Obviously your ultimate does give you already a good amount of resistances, so anything that gives HP, probably pretty worth it. But still, I think that Wit's End is a really, really big pickup here. Really good. Will give him healing, will give him on-hit damage. All the things that a JAX would wish for. As we're going to be moving into the bottom lane here, going to pick up some stuff. No Tiamat so far, so clearing the waves will still take him a hot second. That is a little bit of a question mark for me. I would have expected a Tiamat to come out at some point here. Also just because obviously Triforce, what am I talking about? Triforce. Titanic Hydra is also really good on JAX because of that aforementioned HP value scaling, but he's going for a much more carry and aggressive, into the face oriented type of fight or type of build, as we are going to be picking up the side lanes again. Definitely doing a solid job here in the side lane, but he hasn't been taking out a lot of side lane he started playing around his team much more, which I find very good, as he is very strong, right? And he is... JAX is a little bit of an odd one because he can be very oppressive in team fights, but he's useless in team fights right up to that point, which sounds ridiculous, but believe me, it is exactly that way. As Echo actually with a little bit of a poor ultimate there, JAX is going to jump on to the Heimerdinger. He will now try to take down the Aatrox as Heimerdinger flash will get him out momentarily. Aatrox will be taken down as well, as the Meteor is alive again, but you got to be very careful with this Qiyana. Qiyana picks up Grass Element, already reducing her damage by quite a bit, but potentially, yeah, she is able to pick up a kill on to the Yone, but this W is going to help quite a bit, and her ultimate wasn't enough. Qiyana is going to go down with the Yone. Yeah. JAX not super fast at picking up towers with this build. Not as fast as he could be with other builds. Also not very fast at pushing the side lanes, but maybe that has to do with the build that he is running and the playstyle that he's running as well. Right? He is not playing a very side lane heavy build. Like, he's not trying to just take down turrets, take down turrets, open the gates. More, he is a side lane menace that is scaling into the team fights with a ridiculous build, as he is going to go down 100% here. No mana available. Just stand still and give it to them. Whatever, you'll respawn quicker. Has a really big shutdown here onto the JAX, actually taken down by, who was it? Udyr? That is actually not very good. That should have went to someone else, to be honest. Yone will be able to move out. Yeah, has to flash, has to use his ultimate. Ultimate not going to get him very far, but he will get out one way or another. As Roland likes to pick up a top lane turret, but they can't stay for the inhibitor here. Surely they will be pressured out in a second. Qiyana currently is still preoccupied with minions, apparently. So he is able to take down the inhibitor. Questionable choice, as Kai'Sa actually shows up in the bottom lane jungle here. Yone is going to almost win that trade, as Kai'Sa has to flash, but will barely live. Look at her HP. And Ezreal still being the side lane menace that he is. 1, 9, and 7 rage splitting out of this game. But it seems to be working out so far. Alright, so we are going to pick up some more minions. Actually, he elects to go for the nature's... What is it? Force of nature. I don't know about that one, as his ultimate kind of gets less valuable the more... the more he gets, the more resistances he gets, and gets more valuable the more HP he gets. So I think that getting an item that gives him more HP, actually potentially even getting a Warmonk's armor more useful. Actually, well, thinking about that, obviously he will not be able to put that sustain for very long, as mana is the main limiting resource for JAX. Probably actually not very useful, unless you go for Winter as well. Decent Qiyana ult, but doesn't connect with a lot of people. Heimerdinger will be taken down here by the JAX as well, chased back into the tower, and this JAX is just going for the throw, teleports in, and he is going to take down the wave in the top lane real quick. Doesn't really take any damage from the enemy team here, just because of that force of nature, as Qiyana is going to pick up a shutdown onto the enemy jungler, but what is that worth if you are not able to defend your bases? Most likely you will not be able to, as Surrender comes out. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Stay.
Ты моя тяжелая, такая толстая, огромная я, всегда голодная, хорошая ты моя, я, бэби, ты моя, я. Ты моя тяжелая, такая толстая, огромная я.